Here we are for round number 3. We're playing against Petflezg. Sand is terrible. Gonna mulligan it. Sand is fine. I'll keep it. I think I do want that, actually. That's like 2 lands. It's like a draw card spell, basically. Oh, alright, well, we might as well concede right now. We can never beat this deck. It doesn't matter the Tron variant, we can never beat any of them. Unfortunately. So I'm going to play my Thermo Alchemist next turn. They're going to have Tron. Bojuka Bog is okay, I suppose. So they're going to have Tron. Hopefully they don't have Prophetic Prism, but they usually do. And they've got the Prophetic Prisms and they have Signets, which would both work. So if we're lucky, they'll have to play like an island here or something instead. I do have answers to some creatures, so it is possible, even if they play a creature here, that I could like still be alive. But we are about to find out. What you got, opponent? Okay, they've got the Shimmering Grotto. This means they're holding up Prohibit, probably. And the annoying thing is I can't really play anything anyway, so just gonna pick up my Bloodfell Caves. I'm not gonna play into their Prohibit. Not on this turn that they can not cast anything. Yeah, the only thing they could have cast there is like a Miscalculation or a Prohibit or something. So I'm expecting a Muldrifter here, and then I'll bolt it, and then I'll play my Thorn. Oh, Chainer's Edict, that's weird. Alright. Wonder if they were considering playing that last turn. Well, if they don't have a Prophetic Prism, we should be okay. They would have had to top deck it, because they would have definitely played it last turn if they had it. Looks like they did draw it. Oh no, just a map. Probably should use the tower for it. It doesn't really matter though. Alright, well hopefully this Monarchy can carry us to victory here. I'm going to go ahead and I guess bog away this Chainer's Edict. Now, if they want to spend their entire turn edicting me this turn, they can. I want to save this for like Pulsa Marasa targets and teachings and stuff like that. So Edict is an interesting one. I don't really like it. So the reason I don't like these types of spells, especially Edicts, it doesn't help you in any of the matchups that you care about. Like the tough matchups are like Stompy and Delver and some of those fast decks, and Chainer's Edict is just bad against those decks anyway. You either need 1 mana removal at instant speed, or you need Fogs. Fogs are bad against Delver, but they're pretty good against Stompy. So I would guess my opponent... Oh, that's interesting. I would have thought they would get an island, but I guess they want their Shimmering Grotto. They do have exactly enough mana to Edict me if they play the Shimmering Grotto and tap out for it. Problem is I just don't have a clock at all. My opponent's playing pretty slow. Hopefully they make their decision and then play quickly from there. I do get bored, especially when I'm in a matchup that I kind of already know the outcome, like what the outcome is likely to be. The outcome here is that we're almost certainly going to lose this game. That's the outcome here. Looks like they are playing that Edict. That's pretty crazy. Oh, Dinrova Horror. Make me pick up my Carnarium? Sure. It's actually not a big deal. I mean, it's a little annoying that I'm going to be so far behind on mana. I'm going to discard my Bloodfell Caves. Whoa. That can't be correct. That cannot be the correct choice by my opponent. There's no way. So I'm going to go ahead and Edict my opponent. Well, first I'll Night's Whisper. See what I draw. Chittering Rats. Well, I just want to edict them. Edict away your horror, Bajuka Bog you. Alright. And I get to draw an extra card. My opponent should have absolutely made me pick up one of these Carnariums. It would have drastically reduced how much I could do in a turn. So where are those Mull Drifters at? They got to be around there somewhere. Alright, there's one. I'm going to bolt this guy before my opponent has access to Ghostly Flicker. I'd be very happy if they played like a Prohibit on it. I would love it if they did that. Then I'll just Pillar it on my turn. I'll play the Chittering Rats and the Night's Whisper and Pillar of Flame probably. And pick up my Bajuka Bog. Yeah, tap out for a counterspell. Nice. Okay, they do get to scry the cards they're drawing with Mull Drifter, so that's not amazing for me. But it is what it is. I didn't want them to draw the cards and then play a land and then be able to Ghostly Flicker this guy. So that'd be kind of the disaster scenarios if my opponent could Ghostly Flicker. Opponent went top. Bajuka Bog taking away my edict. Okay. That's not particularly important to me, so let's go and play the Pillar of Flame. Let's play Chittering Rats. Put a card on top. Gonna play my Thermo Alchemist and pick up my Bajuka Bog with my Carnarium. Just got too many bounce lands here that I can't really... Like the Dinrova Horror is gonna bounce they're gonna bounce one of my good lands anyway, no matter what. So I wonder if this is just like straight up a blue-black Tron deck or what's going on here. So we've got the Bajuka Bog too. I didn't think most of the Dinrova Tron decks played. I didn't think many of them played Chainer's Edict. Thought most of them were on green. Alright, Forbidden Alchemy. My opponent has exactly enough to flash that back if I Bajuka Bog it away. Or if I try to Bajuka Bog it away. Still, I probably will. Alright, there goes the Rolling Thunder. That's a card that's pretty tough for us to beat anyways. So our opponent's playing kind of slowly. We aren't really the type of deck that's going to be able to punish them for that, though. They're just going to kill us out of nowhere eventually. To be honest, I'm a little surprised they didn't keep that Rolling Thunder, because that'll just kill us once they get to enough mana. They aren't that far away, like they're halfway there at least. Unless they're just mnemonic walling back a Rolling Thunder. My opponent needs to figure out how to tap their Shimmering Grottos for colors. The best way to do it is to click the Shimmering Grotto and then pick the color you want and then tap the land that makes the mana that you want to use. So like if they have blue, if they want blue, okay. So I think I'm going to start off with just bogging them right away and see what they do about it. What are you going to do, opponent? You going to tap out? They might tap out. Get that alchemy value. They have exactly enough. It's a big decision. Looks like they do want their alchemy value. So I'm actually okay with this because a lot of the value of alchemy is that you can just throw other stuff into the graveyard that you want to get. Like you can throw your mystical teachings into there and stuff like that. Okay, so there goes the Pulse of Marasa. I don't think I can, I've got exactly 7, 8, so I can play this Knight's Whisper and still play my Gurmag Angler. And I think I'm going to play a Bolt. Get some more damage in. All right, we got the Gurmy. Okay, we've got some threats. We're drawing cards. Getting to the point where they might have to start fogging or like Dinrova Horror to make me pick up my Angler. The Bolt was just so I could be like get more damage in with my Thermal Alchemist, but that might have been a mistake. Like if they play a Muldrifter, I might wish that I still had that Bolt. We'll see. Another Prism, so they drew their Prisms a little late. Obviously they would have wanted them earlier rather than right now. Opponent is down to 1650 on the clock. See what they're doing. I imagine they're going to try to play Dinrova Horror this turn. They just tapped their Prophetic Prism wrong, I think. So, oh, Evankar Justice. Okay. I always think this card is like a little greedy in these decks, you know? Evankar Justice to just kill. Okay, they're getting it back. So if I draw a removal spell, my opponent's probably dead. So let's see if I can draw one here. Off my Baron Moor. Flame Slash is a removal spell. So I don't think this is quite lethal, but it's going to be really hard for my opponent to come back. So they're going to be at like 2. Okay. Yeah, they don't have enough to come back here. So I want the Duress and the Blightning and the Pyroblasts. Gorilla Shaman is not good enough against their mana, so I don't want that. I want to take out mostly all my removal spells if I can. Echoing Decay is pretty bad. Sometimes it's nice to hit multiple Muldrifters with this. It's tough because I do need to remove some stuff. And I like having access to the exiling things. I want to leave in the Flame Slashes actually because they kill the 4 toughness guys. Let's go with this. It's a question of whether or not I want these Thermal Alchemists or not, but I think I do. Alright, let's do it. We managed to steal one from Tron. I don't think I want the Reaping the Graves. We don't really want to go to the late game against this deck. We can't beat them in the late game, so I don't want to play these cards that are only good in the late game. I want to kill them right away. Got kind of an eclectic selection of removal here. I want to keep all the stuff in that kills the 4 toughness guys though. Okay, this hand is decent. Keep. It's pretty slow though. Like I could really use a Duress to get going. That's a good one too because now I actually have the mana to cast my Chittering Rats and Beetleback Chief. Well, there's the Duress. Would have been nice to pick off this Prophetic Prism, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and Duress right now. I'm gonna take the Ghostly Flicker, of course. They've got these. Yeah, they've got some big top end. Their hand kind of sucks though. They're just really far from casting anything that they have. I'm gonna play the Rats here. Hopefully it resolves. Because my opponent's pretty far from doing anything with these cards. So I still got the same stuff plus one more card. Looks like it was a Hunted Fengraf. Was there one extra card? Don't care about losing that to the Edict. Alright, so if they draw a land for Mnemonic Wall, they can get back the Ghostly Flicker, which isn't great. But I think this is probably my best turn to play this guy. We'll see if they draw it. Basically hoping they draw anything besides a land. They're paying cost, so okay, they didn't draw a land. Wouldn't mind if they drew a land off of that, although I would have preferred it not be one of their missing Tron lands. I'm gonna play that and then play my Rager. Alright, well now they have enough for the Mnemonic Wall, and they're only one land away from a Dinrova Horror, so I'd like to Pyroblast those when they Pyroblast one of those. If I get really lucky and they find Tron, they might play their Ulamog's Crusher. Then I can just terminate it. Yep, I'll just Pyroblast that. Plunk. Alright, let's play that guy. So this is kind of what we have to do against them. Hope they stumble and then that we can run them over. Now I'm hoping they don't draw Natural Tron right here. Man, this matchup is horrible and it's looking like we might actually win. Yeah, they just stumbled too much. They didn't have Tron and they drew all these Prophetic Prisms. I think they needed to hit exactly Tron off of that so that they could play Dinrova Horror here. Okay, Pulse of Marasa. It's going to keep them alive for a little while longer. So let's cast a Night's Whisper, see what I find here. Duress is a good one. Let's play a Thermal Alchemist. Actually, do I know what they have? They've got a Horror, Crusher. They got one unknown card. Dinrova Horror, Crusher, and then Mnemonic Wall, and then one unknown. Don't really want to play the Carnarium. I think I'll just play the Bloodfell Caves. I think I'll just arrest them next turn. So next turn they might actually have some of these, like they might have one of these left in their hand, and I can just arrest it away. So I don't think they'll be able to come back unless they hit exactly Natural Tron here. Even if they hit me with an Evankar's Justice, they go to 7, and I'll still have one attacker, so that'll be 6. And then 5, 4, 3. So if I draw a burn spell, they'll be dead. Oh, they'll be at 7. Yeah, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So any burn spell will do it. Opponent's thinking. Are we somehow gonna win this terrible matchup? Maybe my salt meter, I'll get a little decrease on the salt meter that I've got going right now. Just doing a lot of losing today. Hasn't been great. Alright, so that's one of their unknown cards. Yep, Mnemonic Wall. Probably gonna have to get back the Pulse. I don't know. Neither one, it doesn't matter what they get back. No matter what they get back, I'm gonna duress it away. Probably. I assume I have lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it should be enough. So I do this. I terminate. Yep, that'll do it. So I had enough spells that I could untap my Thermal Alchemist enough times to kill them. So cool, we did it. We defeated Tron. This is a horrible matchup for us. They just had a pretty bad draw twice, so we did it. We are 1-2. Let's move on to round number 4.